to start off by giving you guys just a little visualization of like what it's kind of gonna look like when it's finished if you try making this at home. Here's what mine is. So I have the suspenders up top. These were a pain to make, but we'll get to that. And then they connect to the belt. They're just looped on there as so, you can see. We have our little extra straps to give it some fun movement. Then obviously we have the skirt itself. It's made of 2 materials. I have the smoother fake leather for most of it, and then I also have this fun alligator print. It was a little thicker, a little harder to work with, but I think it worked out really well. It adds some nice detailing. I also used that for the belt. Yeah, and then the real star of the show is these pockets on the side here. So these actually disconnect, and these are real pockets. They are functional. And I did sew these curved seams into there as well. I'll be showing you how I did that. It's on the back side, and these pockets actually detach. So let me see if I can show you how this works with one hand, just so you can kind of have a better understanding of how I did this. As you can see, there are snaps. They fold into the skirt, and they come out. And then, ooh! Yep, just like that. They snap on and off. There's one in the back over here on this side as well. And here's the detachable pocket with the rivets on the back side, as you can see. That's basically what we're gonna be doing today. That way you can kind of see what's going on, because I'm a little all over the place when I'm making these videos. So I hope this makes at least a little sense to everyone, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Hi guys! Okay, so to start this Tifa project, first we have to put our pattern together. I will go ahead and link the pattern that I'm using down below. I'm using one I got off Etsy. It's a skirt specifically made for Tifa, so it should go pretty well, I'm hoping. It's one of those printable patterns you can just cut out and choose the size you want. This part's probably gonna take a while, so I'm probably just gonna speed through this thing. Generally speaking, anytime you get like a printable pattern like this, it's just like you print out the pattern at 100% and then you tape them together. It's pretty simple. I look like a mess because I'm in work mode. My lighting is terrible, but we're gonna get started, so let's do this. So I just finished taping everything together. As you can see, it is a lot. Okay, so here's a better look at the pattern when it's all laid out, just like on my floor. But basically what I'm gonna be focusing on is the skirt pattern. And as you can see, I don't know if I just messed this up, but I don't understand. The lines aren't lining the way they're supposed to be lining, you know what I mean? But over here, like, they seem fine. Like, this is fine. It's just like certain spots where it's kind of iffy. But for the most part, the pattern is okay. Like, it looks fine. I don't know if I'm gonna focus a whole lot on this half. She just wears like black and white sports bras, and I already have those, so if I end up entering this into like a cosplay competition or something, then I'll absolutely make the top for it. But for now, I'm gonna focus most of my attention on the skirt. But now all I have to do is cut out all the pieces, so
You are wrong. No, it's my talent that gets me to win. Sure.
Okay, so for the moment, all I have done is cut out the back panel of the skirt, the front pleated portion of the skirt, the I don't even know what to call this, the middle part of the skirt, and then the waistband as well. I'm gonna leave all of the pockets and stuff for a little bit later, because I really want to just focus on getting the fit of the skirt right, and then we can go into all the little accoutrements and get that all situated, because this is going to be a whole different story. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get my fabric. Actually, let me show you what the fabric I got is. Hold on. Okay, so I have 2 different types of fabric for this, because she has like the middle part of the skirt has like a reptile skin texture. You know what I mean? I'll see if I can find an image and pop it up here, but it's got more texture than the rest of the skirt. So for that little piece in the middle, I have this. I don't know how well this is gonna work yet because it's a little thick, but I think it's gonna be okay. I mean, it's not unmovable. Like, it's got some give. It's just not like, it's not drapey, if you know what I mean, but it's not terrible. And I might go in with some weathering techniques just to get rid of some of the shine, because you can see, especially in the light, like, it is, girl, it is shiny. Up close and personal. This is the other fabric I have. It's just a basic pleather. It is stretchy though. It's two-way stretch, so it stretches one way, but not the other. Okay, so I have my base pieces cut out. You can see the fabric is here, it's pinned down. But what I'm gonna do now is, because we have pleats on this one, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna grab some needles and I'm going to place marker pins where the pleats begin and end. That way I know when I can take this pattern piece off where they're gonna be at. And then I'm gonna start sewing the pleats in, and then I also might test the sizing on the back of the skirt and see if the size is gonna be right, because I need to know if I need to take this in or not. So I might go do that, but mark the pleats first and I'll see how that goes. Okay, so here is the full piece of the front pleat. So as you can see, I have marked where the pleats, oh, you hear my elbow pop? Jeez. Okay, anyways, I have marked where the pleats are gonna be, and the pleats are gonna, this is really hard to do with one hand, but basically gonna fold in on themselves like this, right? You get the idea. It's gonna look a little better later on, but you get the idea. And we're gonna do that 1, 2, 3 times. I need both hands to do this, so I will be right back. Pausing to tell you to iron this on the back side of the fabric, not the right side, because it will melt. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, so now these are ironed down. They are nice and flat, which is what I wanted. So usually when I do pleats, I just do a top stitch going straight across like this. But for Tifa's, I think what I'm gonna do is, because in the image, she has it going, the seam goes like this, and then like this. So it basically makes a little square around the thing. I'm gonna do my best to keep it close to the fold. So it is actually time for the machine. Okay, so once you have kind of a straight stitch going here, you're going to lift up the presser foot. I think mine's already lifted, yes. You're going to make sure the needle is already in the fabric. And then you're going to gently turn your fabric around that needle. This is really hard to do with one hand, so hold on, BRB. Now, since you've rotated it with the needle still in there, you're gonna come this way and then repeat to just go down the other side here. And that's all you gotta do. This is what it looks like all sewn up. I did have a marker line so I could get them even, but I wanted to do it longer in the moment because it just spoke to me that way. It's also gonna keep the pleats more in shape, I feel like. So yeah, my machine did kind of freak out on the very first line of stitching because it was like, why is this material so thick? But then it figured it out. So it's okay. I will say though, because I am using the stretch on the side, I do have to be careful when I pull it because that looks weird. That looks weird, but that's okay. We can fix that. That can be amended. Okay, so I'm just about to wipe off the marks that I made with the stencil, but I actually really like the way these turned out. I think they're actually really nice looking. I think they add a little polish, I guess I would say. I don't know if that's a good word for this because I'm not the best seamstress in the world, but I think it adds a little something something, you know? I think it looks nice. I think I have to connect this to the back piece, but I'm gonna go read the instructions real quick. BRB, hold on. I actually had to connect it to the top piece first, so my bad, sorry. Okay, so here we have the piece that I'm gonna be putting on top. Now, before I do this, I kind of wanna try something because it is so shiny. I don't know, maybe the shine is nice, but it's kinda on camera. I'm gonna try weathering this down. So stand by. I'm gonna grab a scrap piece and test it before I do something. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. Hold on. Okay, so basically what my plan is to take away some of the shine and kind of weather it down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some 100% acetone nail polish remover. I'm gonna put that on a cotton round, rub it around, wear down the shiny coating. Then I'm gonna take some sandpaper, and I'm using a fine grit sandpaper. I don't know, here, hold on. This is, if you wanna know, this is what it is. Yeah, anyways, it's a fine grit sandpaper is what I'm using. And I'm gonna sand it down. Now, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know. This could be a complete fail, but it also could not be. So we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try and hopefully see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll try to film some of this, but again, hard to do with one hand. Okay, guys, it's working. I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera. I hope it does. This half, I put just the acetone on. I haven't sanded it down yet. This half, I did nothing to. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, but in person, there is definitely a difference. It's very subtle, but you can definitely tell. I'm gonna try the sandpaper and see if that also helps. Okay, now let's see if you can tell a better difference, because the sandpaper actually did something. I don't know, which side do y'all like better? Again, it is really hard to see on camera, but I definitely think you can see a difference in this side versus this side. Which version do you like better? Do you like the shine or do you like the no shine? I'm kind of leaning towards no shine. The only thing though is that it kind of takes away from the color. I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit, but not like all over the place. Maybe I'll do patches of this. What do you think? Thoughts, comments, concerns? I don't know. If you do this method, it definitely makes it look more worn in. If you're going for that kind of look, like they fought in it, like the character has fought in it a lot, or they've worn it a lot and it's starting to wear down, you can see the little wear bits right here compared to if I flip it around, you don't get that. It's just shiny, brand new, which also definitely works if that's the kind of vibe that you're going for. I will say though, be careful that you don't sand it too much or else you are gonna get, you're gonna hit fabric. Okay, again, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I did place this on top of the material that I haven't altered at all. I think you can kind of see it on camera. It's a lot more pronounced in person, I will say. Even though it is still a very subtle detail, I think it definitely adds to the character of like wearing it down, because I mean, look at that. You can see the wear and tear. See those like micro scratches on there? I think that's kind of cool looking. Definitely says like I've been fighting for my life in this, you know? So I think that's kind of cool. I kind of like this. Okay, so now we're gonna attach it onto the pleats. Let's go. Also, look at what this did to the cotton round. It like destroyed it. Now we're going to attach it to here. And it's going to go on like this. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew both right sides together. So I'm gonna flop this over. We're gonna sew it like this, and then I'm gonna flip it inside out. But because this material is thick, we might have a little issue. We're gonna see. Time to go back to the machine. No, no, oh my God. I spilled needles everywhere. The floor is needles, everybody. Do not move. Okay, I think I cleaned up most of the damage from the needles. I tried to do a cool transition and it backfired. The universe said, know your place. Putting the lid on these, and they're going away. Now that that hazard has been dealt with, we're gonna actually sew this. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so she is sewn together. So far, so good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to iron this down because obviously the material is thick. It's not laying very flat. So I'm gonna try to iron it, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another stitch on the right side all the way across just to really, you know, flatten it down. I am a little worried because the material is so thick that my machine's not gonna go through it because it did struggle a little bit, as you can see on here. But you know, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. If I have to hand sew it, if it must be done, it must be done. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go to the iron now. Okay, so I did exactly what I just said. I ironed it down and then I did another seam all the way across here. You can kind of see it, but look how nice it looks now. It lies completely flat. Nothing is raised. The material is actually working out really well. So I'm very excited. Look at that. It's turning out really good so far. I'm so excited. Anyways, don't look at the inside because it's kind of a wreck. First of all, it's still picking up all the red on my floor. I am trying to think of a way that I can finish these edges so they don't look as awful on the inside. But I'll get around to that later. I think for now, I'm going to continue on with the process, which I think is other top pieces? No, the back. Wait, no, yes, the top. I don't know, it's either the top or the back. I'll figure it out, hold on. Okay, so now I'm just connecting the back piece to this piece, so it's just gonna be a straight stitch all the way down, like this. I don't think I'll record it because it's gonna take me 5 seconds, but you get the idea. So I did end up taking it in quite a bit. As you can see, this is where the seam is, this is what I have left over. I'm not gonna cut this yet, because I'm not gonna sew these end pieces together until a little later. And just in case I need to do any fixes, I'm gonna leave it for now. We can cut later. Basically what I'm gonna do now though, is I'm gonna take the waistbands, and I'm gonna put these two together, and then I'm gonna attach this on top. So I just realized that before I put the waistband part on, I need to make the belt loops because they're gonna go in between this seam right here. So I have to go back to the paper that I stuffed in this corner and find the tiny itty bitty straps that I will then cut out and make. So I made my little strap pieces, and this took way longer than anything else I've done tonight. Definitely because I used the thicker material for these. Thick material and tiny little details do not go well together, but I think it's gonna look better. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Should I have used the other fabric? No, I think I like this. I think I like the alligator stuff on here. I think it's gonna look... Okay, so now it's pinned down. It's kind of hard to see because it's folded over, but this is kind of what we're going for. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna take our little straps that we made and we're gonna stick it in between, like a little sandwich, in between these layers right here. So that way, when you sew over this edge right here, it'll be concealed. Now we are gonna have to hand sew the ends of this one on like this, but that's not a big deal. We can manage that. But hopefully that makes a little more sense. Okay, so I've sewed it down. I did a little reinforced stitching, that's why there's threads everywhere, on the little loops so they stay. As you can see, now there's a seam here. These are gonna get sewn down. This is gonna get folded over. I know it's gonna look a little silly for a sec, but basically you want this to go like that, and then here, and then we're gonna sew down, hand sew down the edges like this. So then you have like a nice enclosed seam, if that makes sense. And we're also going to sew a seam here to make sure it's flat, and here as well to also make sure it's flat, while folding this in on itself here. I know this is really confusing, I'm so sorry, but basically that's what's happening, but we're making good progress. I just need to do some finishing now, and it should be fine, and then we're gonna add a zipper. It's gonna be good, guys. I have a feeling it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold this over and do the stitching on there, and then I will be back. Hello, it is a new day. I had some troubleshooting issues last night. The thread on my bobbin on my sewing machine kept getting tangled and like nesting and tangling underneath. So I ended up just going to bed. So this morning is going to be about troubleshooting and trying to figure it out. I tried hand sewing the seam. Hold on, let me pull it up, let me show you. I tried hand sewing it. I'm not a great hand sewer, so it's not the best. So I'm gonna try and troubleshoot the machine and see what's going on. I think it's, my needle might not be sharp enough, the tension might be wrong, I don't know. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot it and figure it out. But yeah, this is the hand sewn seam. It's not pretty. Ooh, girl. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that this morning. That's my first course of action, but so far it's coming along pretty well. What do you think? Ooh, let me show you the front. There's still needles everywhere, but it's coming together, guys. It's coming together. Once I figure this out, I think it's gonna be good. So I'll see y'all when I figure out this machine nonsense. So I'll be back. Bye. I did not end up figuring this out. I did have to hand sew it, so that took all day. I've been hand sewing for the better part of all day. It's not the best, as you can see. I'll give you a close-up. Like, I don't know if you can tell on camera. It's not very pretty, but it gets the job done. Oh my god, focus. Yeah, it's not perfect, and you can see where I tried to sew it, the needle left marks in the vinyl. But that's the top stitching I did, just to like keep it flat. It's not great, but it's mostly gonna be covered by the belt anyway, so I'm not that pressed about it. I also went ahead and sewed down the little belt loops. So those are done as well. It's mostly just a finished piece. All I have to do now is add on the zipper, and we have a skirt, and then we gotta do the pockets and all that nonsense. But I am gonna have to take it in quite a bit though, because this is how much extra fabric I have. I tried it on. It's a little big. I should have definitely done the smaller sizing, but you know, live and learn. It's okay. But yeah, that's what's next. Adding the zipper, and then the base is done. So yay, yay. Okay, I did a bunch of stuff off camera because the skirt was a little difficult to figure out. And also I ran out of fabric, which is kind Great. Anyways, I had enough to cut out the little side thingies of the skirt, and it took me a second to figure this out, but what I think I'm gonna do, so I have the back portion of the panel of the side flap on the skirt, and that's already cut out on the fabric you see here, but she has those lines there that are like the second fabric that's over there, and so I'm just kind of tracing a second pattern that's gonna kind of go like this, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna cut out that small piece of that fabric over there. And this is not making a lot of sense, and it's been a really long day and it's really late and I'm really tired and I'm sorry that this is a lot, but basically I'm making a second pattern for this, and I hope it turns out okay. I really don't know anything anymore. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this and then I'll be back. Okay, bye. I did not think this was gonna work, but so you see how her side pocket thingy here has a pocket on top of it like this, right? Okay, and it has those 3 panels going across of like the reptile skin fabric, and the pattern doesn't actually call for it. So I made these itty bitty tiny pieces from the pattern of the mini one, and I didn't think this was gonna work because look how tiny these things are. And it would be fine usually if you were using like a normal fabric, but I'm using this thick, heavy vinyl, so I didn't think it was gonna work, but I gave it a shot anyways. And guys, it worked. I have to go flatten the seams down, but like, do you see this? Like, okay, it looks kind of weird right now. It looks kind of wonky right now, but like, you get it, right? You get the picture. Once I flatten these seams, like, it's gonna work. I cut these out. Just make sure that you have a seam allowance. That's the biggest thing. So I would just lay them out flat like this and then just cut down the middle for everything. But yeah, whew. All right, go me. Okay, so while I have it pinned down, it's a little curled up and it looks a little weird, but I swear it looks better when it's actually sewn. Hold on. This is, oh my god, I'm like stretching across my floor. Anyways, this is what the one I finished looks like, and I think it looks really good, actually, guys. I fear I popped off. I think it looks good, and the seams are flat. I put another stitch over top. It's really hard to see because of the vinyl. I didn't do the acetone treatment on this one yet. I still might, but I think doing it over the seams might give it a little more edge. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, this is what it looks like after. And this is the before. It looks like a banana, but we're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish it. Here's the other piece. You can see how thin it is though, but yeah, this is the seam allowance I did. So I'm gonna go back to the machine and finish these pockets. Okay, so the instructions for this pattern don't really explain how to attach all the pieces of this side pocket flap together, so I'm gonna try my best to explain it. Basically, so you have the main pocket on the side, right? And then this is gonna be the pocket in the middle. So this part is gonna be open at the top here. It's gonna be sewn here, here, and here, and be open at the top. Now, there is a flap that goes over top like this, so you can open it up, right? But then there's another piece that goes on top of that just like, I guess, is supposed to cover the edge. I'm not really sure why it's there, but it's there. So that's what's going on with that. And then you have this piece that goes all the way around the edges here so that it gives it that 3D kind of shape, you know what I mean? It's gonna be attached to this edge right here. What it doesn't explain is how to get this pocket contraption onto the main piece of fabric. Like, I don't know how, because once you sew these edges together, how do you get this edge onto this one? How does that work? I don't understand. I'm very confused. So I'm just gonna have to wing it, but that's pretty much what I've been doing for this whole project, so I think it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It'll be okay. But anyways, I hope that kind of explains the gist of what's going on with the pocket flap thing, because it's very, very confusing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the flap, I guess, next, because yeah. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so it's another new day, and because I ran out of material, I am at the soon to be closed forever fabric store to see if they have anything. I kind of doubt it, but The original fabric I used, I had to order, and it took a really long time to get here, and the shipping was like $15. So it was really expensive, and I don't want to have to just ship another like yard or half yard for that amount of money, you know? So I'm gonna see if they have anything. Hopefully they have something I can use. I don't even need that much. I need like half a yard, maybe a yard. But yeah. First stop, Joann's, maybe Michael's if Joann's doesn't have anything, but I kind of doubt either's gonna have a lot of options. We'll see. It'll be okay. I did not find anything. I did indeed have to order more materials. Yay! Okay, so where we left off last week was we had the skirt, we had the fronts of the pockets completed, and now I have all of these pattern pieces that I forget what they do. So let's figure that out. Our next step is going to be sewing this all around the edges of this. Yeah, that's the next step. That's what I'm doing next, and that's just gonna form the pocket, and then it's going to go onto the big piece of the side flap pocket. I don't know what to call this. I'm sorry if this is confusing. I don't know what to call these pieces. This is like JRPG clothing logic, so nothing really makes any sense, but you get the idea, I hope, so. Okay, since there were no instructions on how to actually attach these pockets, what I did was I just took the strip and I did it inside out, right sides together. I did a straight stitch all the way across, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it out now. No, I was hoping this would be colored. No! So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to flip it out, and then I'm going to, this is really hard with one hand. Right, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do another stitch to keep it in place like this, if that makes sense. And I hope that works. If it doesn't, I'll let you know so that you don't do that too. Okay. Okay, here's what it looks like with the second stitch all around. It kind of just makes it, well, it makes it kind of angular, if that's the look you're going for. If you're looking for something more rounded edges, you don't have to do this at all. In fact, I probably didn't need to do it either, but I like that it kind of keeps everything in its place. And is it the best stitch? No, because this was really kind of wonky to do on there just because of the way it's shaped and the material I used. Like this thick stuff was really hard to get all the way around. But yeah, that's kind of what we're working with now for the pocket. Okay, so now that this has been properly, well, I don't know about properly, but now that this has been finished, I actually can't do anything until I finish the bigger side of the pocket. Basically, all I'm gonna do is the exact same thing I did with these 3 panels here. I'm just gonna do it on here, and it's gonna be bigger. Because I ran out of fabric though, I do still have the cuts of the original mini pockets that I did before I decided to do the triple panel thing because I didn't trust myself. So I'm gonna be using cuts from that. Basically, it's gonna be like this, and then the rest is gonna be, actually, do I have enough of the, hold on, I need to see if I have enough of the other, the reptile fabric too. Okay, so I think I still have enough of this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm probably not gonna film it because I already filmed the exact same thing on the smaller portion of the pocket, and I'm literally doing the exact same thing, so yeah, that's what's happening. Once I finish that, I'm going to attach these on. I don't know how I'm gonna attach these on yet because again, there were no instructions, but we're gonna make it work. Somehow, some way. Hello, it's the next morning. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm going to iron the sides of this down, kind of like this, and then sew it on that way because I still don't know how to attach this without it looking weird. Like, I don't know, you know? If anyone has the answer, let me know, please. I did add the lining on the back. I might go in and fix this weird thing going on here. I don't know. I might have like messed myself up with doing this extra seam around, but I think it looks nicer. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go iron this, and then hopefully go from there. Okay, I don't know if this is right, but it's what I'm doing. So I'm basically doing it just one side at a time, and it's like folded over, and I'm just gonna do a straight stitch as close as I can to this edge here. So that way there's some dimension when you do the pocket. So I'm gonna do this side, and then I'm probably gonna do this side, and then the bottom. I don't know how well this is gonna work. Stay tuned, we'll see. This did indeed work, but I did not film any of it. Apologies. Anyways, here's the next part. Goodbye. Okay, so it's come time to do the accoutrement to the pockets. And I was looking at reference photos, and there is no like pocket flap on her skirt like this. Like there's nothing that, so this is different from what's on the actual model. I was thinking because in her model she doesn't have the flaps. I was like, what if I just turn it and then put it in here, do that, and then add some rivets in the corner, and then this piece is gonna go over top the fold. I don't know, is that better? Is that worse? Is that ugly? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay, so it's another new day, and I just woke up from a nap, so it's like almost midnight, but I want to get to work. I haven't worked on it in a couple days. I've been staring at this on my floor for the past like 3 days, trying to decide which one looks better. And I did ask a couple people, and everyone said the pocket looked better, but this was more accurate. So I think I'm gonna go with the one with the flap on top, just because it looks a little more polished, I guess. I mean, this one without the flap is definitely more like close to what she actually wears. I feel like if I were running around and like flip kicking and jumping and punching people, like I would want to cover over my things, you know? They'd be falling out of this one for sure. So I don't know, I feel like this one adds a little pizzazz. So that's what I think I'm gonna go with. And I have these little decorative snap rivet thingies I'm gonna put on there. I don't know if this is, because my idea was to put it on here, right? But I don't know if it's gonna get through that many layers of fabric, I'm gonna be honest. I also did a little better on sewing this pocket on. You can see the corners aren't as like wonky. Well, this one is. This one, don't look at this side. This side is, we don't talk about her, but this side, you know what, practice makes perfect. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and basically all I'm gonna do is pin this down, pin this on top of it, try to flatten it out the best I can, and sew this all together in one seam, so it's less seams the better, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so they're sewn on now. It's a little wonky. The strips weren't long enough to cover the pockets. That might just be user error, but yeah. This one's also a little crooked. Oopsie, but I think it's fine. Anyways, these are sewn on now. Nice little pocket flap. Now I'm going to cut out basically just this big rectangular shape one more time out of this fabric over here, the other fabric I got, and it's just going to be the backing of this. Oh, hello. It's just going to be the back of this, so all of this is covered. Yeah, so I'm going to sew it on right sides facing each other and then flip them inside out so you won't see it. I'm going to go ahead and cut those real quick though, and I will be back. Because some of this material is so thick, I am going to trim down these edges to as thin as they can be, chop these corners a little bit, and flip it inside out so we get a nice edge. And then once I flip it inside out, again, I'm just going to do another seam all the way around just to make sure it's flat. I did do all of those things again, but I did not record it. Apologies, I'm sorry. At this point, I was getting tired. Sorry, guys. The way I'm going to be doing this is with a hammer and a spool of thread. Here are the rivets. They're super cute, and they have this cute little design on them. Yeah, I'm hoping they go through all the layers of this fabric, so we are going to find out and see how spiky they are. They're pretty sharp, so maybe they'll get through it. I don't know. Stop! Hammer time! Okay, so both of these are done. This one has the rivets, this one doesn't have them yet. I'll do those in a second, but I think right now I'm gonna go ahead and take these rectangular pieces, and it's kind of just gonna go over the top like this. I think it's gonna add some extra length so you can fold it over to be on the skirt, because these go onto the skirt by like folding over like this on the waistband, and then you snap them on so they can come off. So I think this is gonna be good to add some extra length to it, kind of like this. Well, I'm gonna fold it over and then sew it and then flip it inside out, and then it's gonna go over like this, if that makes any sense. Okay, so now that I have the piece actually like done, I'm thinking maybe, well, first of all, I made it a little too short, but that's fine, don't even worry about it. Anyways, I'm thinking maybe it just needs to be sewn a stitch across here, and then this part is gonna fold over onto the waistband, you know? So I don't think it's supposed to go like this over it, you know? I think maybe it's just supposed to go on across like this, and then when you wear it, it's gonna fold over into the waistband. So I think that's what I'm gonna actually end up do. But first I'm going to do a finishing stitch over this seam so it's not just like a raw edge. I'm probably just gonna use a regular zigzag stitch because I don't have, well, I have a serger, but it's got, well, I have a serger, but it's full of white thread right now, and I really don't want to go through the process of like putting black thread in it, because if you've never seen the inside of a serger, this is what it looks like. And I don't feel like messing with that right now, so I'm just gonna use a zigzag stitch. So I'll go to the machine and I'll be back. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I sewed it like this, so it kind of just flips up and you have that extra length so you can fold it over into the waistband. Okay, so both of these are now finished. Put the snaps on. Here's what it looks like on the back. You can see them on here. Yeah, okay, so now that they're both done, I'm actually going to put the back half of the snaps onto the waistband of the skirt. And then I think the skirt part is done, and then I'm gonna start working on the suspenders. For the skirt, I did end up hemming it off camera, but yeah, it worked out okay, I think. It's a little bulkier than I would have liked. As you can see, it's not laying as flat as it was before, but yeah, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. I also went ahead and did a little finishing on here. Also not the prettiest, but I did add a little fastener at the top just to make it fit a little better, close that little gap. Yeah, basically I'm gonna go ahead and try this on so I can measure where the snaps need to be, and then hopefully I'll be almost done with this. Okay, so here is what the skirt looks like in its plain form. You can see the sides here. I did take in the front. I took it up just a little bit because I felt like it was a little too long. But yeah, here's the side with the zipper. So now I'm just gonna add the pockets onto the side. I'm gonna mark where on here I want to put the other half of the snaps, where they need to sit, and then yeah, I think guys, we're almost done. Woo! I can't wait. Yay! I like it. It's back to hammer time. These are the other pieces I need for the second half of the snaps. This little piece with the sharp bits is gonna go on the front of the skirt, like this, and then the little snappy piece is gonna go on the back side, so that way when you fold it over, it'll snap on. You get the idea. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to hammering my life away. I'll be back. Okay, so I realized I never recorded myself making the belt either, but it's super simple. Just get a buckle and some short little pieces of elastic and attach those onto the ends. And then I made just a thin tube of the thicker material of the fabric, and just you put the elastic in as so, sew a little line shut on the end, and then you have like a little elastic kind of stretchy belt. There you go. Okay, so here you can kind of see what it looks like with these snaps on. I was scared it was gonna make the base of the skirt look a little weird, you know, if you don't have the belt around everything, but I think it's fine. There's hardware in the skirt, just like a real JRPG. Great. Okay, so for the suspenders part of this remake, I realized I didn't film any of it because it was actually really confusing, so I was really just focused on like getting it done. So I'm kind of retroactively showing you what I did. The pattern I used did come with the suspender pieces, and I used some of them, but I did not use all of them because it was too much. Anyways, basically what I did was I got some of this like vinyl material here. So we have that material, right? That makes the straps, and there is a strap here that connects to the belt, right? And this bottom strap has both the buckle and then the strap holder for when you put the strap down, you just tuck it in here like so, and it holds the strap down like that. And then you have this top strap, which is this little strap right here, the one where the buckle attaches to. It's basically just a strip with rivets on it. That's all it is. And then you have these pieces. These are the only pieces that I used from the actual pattern, was this piece, and this piece right here. Like the shoulder thingamabobs. This piece actually connects on and off like that, if you so please. It's just a snap. For ease of use, you know. But that's pretty easy to come on and off. And then this part up here is where it gets a little interesting. So we have this little triangular piece here, right? And then we have this shoulder strap piece, which goes all the way around to the back like this. see? And for this, I just used a separate fake leather type situation. These are 2 pieces that I sandwiched together and just sewed shut, so there's nothing going on there. And then this rectangular piece that I put over this piece here kind of just makes this little pocket. And that's what these 2 pieces, the little, I don't know what to call this, the tag, the little flippy flap thing, and the triangular strip that connects to the thing, they are just kind of sandwiched in that little pocket and sewn shut. I'm really hoping this is making sense, but I'm so sorry I didn't film this because I was just so confused making this thing. Anyways, over here on the back, you can see, same thing. We have 3 straps. One connects to the belt, one connects to this shoulder piece, and one connects to this shoulder piece, connected by a little triangular ring in the middle. Yeah, and the back straps are also just kind of sandwiched in to that little pocket I made there, and you can see the seam better on this one, so it's literally just sewn shut, like you can't get in there. Sorry I didn't film me making the suspenders. I was just really focused on like not messing it up because I was so confused. I've never made my own suspenders before, but I think they turned out pretty good. I think once I finish up these edges and make them not as like blunt and ugly, then like it'll look really, really good, right? Yeah. So anyways, those are the suspenders. I hope that made a little bit of sense. Sorry, but there you go. Okay, so here is a little clip of the finished product, minus the suspenders because I hadn't finished those yet. But I hope you guys found this tutorial at least a little helpful, or if it wasn't helpful, at least you found it entertaining, hopefully. I don't know. But yeah, anyways guys, that's the finished Tifa skirt. I think it turned out really well. I'm super excited for it. I did film some other projects in the Tifa cosplay as well. I don't know if they'll see the light of day yet because I might not like them. But yeah, that's it, I guess. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Is it blurry? Or is that just my eyes?